everyone, I'm going to make a video today on some of my favourite books that I've read over the past couple of years. Obviously this isn't all of them, but if I was to put all of them onto a video it would be so long. Also as well, I'd like you to just ignore how straight my fringe is. The rest of my hair, as you can see, just isn't straight, but this is just dried like pew. Basically I've got my books in a pile here. I might have to do a quick little Google or a quick little read through because I read some of these, like I say, a couple of years ago and I can't exactly remember what goes on in them. First off, we have The Great Christmas Knit-Off by Alexandra Brown. This book is like a hug, but on paper. It's fucking delightful. If you like stories kind of like Bridget Jones, where the girl is a bit embarrassing, a bit awkward and a bit weird, you'll probably really like this one. It's about a girl who gets jilted at the altar. She goes to a really cute village in the middle of nowhere. She stays with friends. She meets an old lady who likes to knit. Bam! They become mates. She helps her out and she ends up really happy at the end. Just read it. It's nice. It doesn't even have to be Christmas, but I would suggest to read it at Christmas because it's got a really nice feel to it. Also, in the front, there's a map of the village so you know where things are when she's talking about them. And that to me is a very pleasing element of a book. Second on the list we have The Reptile Room by Lemony Snicket. I said that really weird and I think I might edit that bit out because it seemed like a really good thing to do in my head, but in hindsight I feel like a twat. I remember reading these books and I think year 5 or 6, so I would have been like 9 or 10. And I used to read a lot of Roald Dahl and a lot of Jacqueline Wilson, but there was just something missing out of those stories. What Lemony Snicket puts in stories other people don't is grimness. Grimness and misery and sarcasm. How many children's authors write a book based on sarcasm? They're just brilliant. I love them as a kid, love them now, I still read them now. I've got all of them here in a little box because I like to look at them. I like to read them. They're just written so well. I remember reading the back of this one in Waterstones and I literally read about the first chapter or two whilst waiting for my dad to buy his book, and then I was like, please can I have them because they call to my gothy little soul. Next one is The Lost Art of Keeping Secrets by Eva Rice. I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I'm only human, and I did. This cover's beautiful. The sides of it are baby pink. Who doesn't want to read a book that's all pastel colours, little cute girl in a vintage outfit, but with pink edges? Who doesn't want to? Not only is the cover really pleasing, but the words inside that are wrote are also pretty good. This was one of the first books I read of this kind of genre. I didn't used to read. I didn't used to read love stories, romance stories, that kind of. I kind of just read anything else really. But this one, just about a young girl who lives in the 50s and with her eccentric, wacky family, and she meets a friend who is lovely and tall and thin and I believe blonde as well. And it's got tiny little illustrations in it as well. Next one, which could not be more different in genre or in book cover than the last one, it's The Shining by Stephen King. If you haven't read this book and you enjoy reading books that are good, or you enjoy reading in general, read it! It's the best book ever. And if that wasn't good enough, look at this cheesy picture of Stephen King in the front. That's enough to buy this book. That's worth £8.99 alone. It's one of the very few books that's kept me tense on edge whilst reading it. I work in a really old building. I remember reading this book when I first started there and I was scared of everything in that building and it fucking terrified me forever. It's really good. Have a read. On the other end of the scale, we have Danny the Champion of the World by Roald Dahl. Basically, this story is just one of those things that you should read if you're feeling a bit down. I think all Roald Dahl books give you that similar feeling afterwards of just kind of contentness and like you've had a bit of a hug from him. The next book on my list of books that I really like is Start of a 10 by David Nichols. This is the same guy that wrote This is the same guy who wrote One Day and The Understudy, which are also on my shelf here. All of his books have a very similar feel to them. They have moments that have you crying because they're so emotional and so upsetting. Turn a couple of pages and you're pissing yourself laughing because he wrote something really funny and he wrote it in such a way that's so relatable as well. It's just a really funny book. I really enjoyed it. It's like one of those down-to-earth books. It's not really elaborate and over the top. It's kind of stuff that everyone can relate to. And I enjoy that in a book. Next one is Alice in Wonderland. I actually only read this in September. And it's got like all of the original artwork in. And the drawings are just so odd. And they're just brilliant though. I really love this because it's wild and it's weird. The things that happen in this book that you couldn't even imagine, like in your wildest pissed up dreams. Like, I just love how crazy and over the top it really is. Last on my list is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. It's about a girl who goes off to uni with her twin sister, and whilst her twin sister wants to go and be wild and do things, she wants to stay and write fan fiction. What I love about this book is it actually has extracts of the original fan fiction and the original story that she writes fan fiction for. I like as well that it's not all about love and stuff like that. It's got family relationships in too, and I find that really endearing in a book. Hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know what your favourite books are and what you're reading at the moment. Also, if you could, based on what I've told you about what I enjoy, have you got any book recommendations for me? El Dolphin out! I wish I could do a dolphin noise.